Okay. Today let us discuss about the basic properties of soils. We are continuing this topic, basic properties of soils. In the last class we have discussed about the Atterberg's limits, and in that we have discussed about the liquid limit and how to determine the liquid limiters. There are two tests to determine the liquid limits. So we discussed those two tests also in today's class. So in today's class, let us discuss about the what is plastic limit and what is shrinkage limit, and tests for plastic limit and shrinkage limit. What are the tests to be conducted to determine the plastic limit and shrinkage limit? In the last class, we have learned about Atterberg's limits, liquid limits, and what is the significance of liquid limit, and methods or tests to determine the liquid limit. Those things we have discussed about in the last class. Now, today's class, now let us start Atterberg's limits. Atterberg's limits are, what is Atterberg's limits? Actually, we have already discussed. Atterberg's limits are the water contents. Atterberg's limits are the water contents at which the soil mass changes from one state to other. Atterberg's limits are the water contents at which the soil mass changes from one state to other state. So, what are the different states of a soil? There are four states: liquid state, plastic state, semi-solid state, and solid state. These are the four states a soil can have. So now it will be different water contents. What will happen? Soil mass changes from one state to other. Whenever it is changing from one state to other, the boundary limit at that boundary condition occurs. That boundary condition is nothing but the consistency limits. Suppose liquid state to plastic state is conversion point. So the boundary point between the liquid state and plastic state is known as the liquid limit. Similarly, plastic state to semi-solid state is known as the plastic limit. Semi-solid state to solid state boundary point is known as the shrinkage limit. So that's what we have discussed. And then liquid limit also we discussed in the last class. Now today's class, let us discuss about the plastic limit and shrinkage limit. So what is plastic limit? Just now we said plastic limit is the water content corresponding to an arbitrary limit between the plastic and the semi-solid states of consistency of soil. It is the boundary condition. It is the boundary water content between the plastic state and semi-solid state. Plastic state and semi-solid state. It is the boundary between the plastic state and semi-solid state. That boundary point is known as plastic limit. It is all. Otherwise, we can also define the plastic limit. It is the water content. At which the soil is still in plastic state. It is the minimum water content at which the soil is in still plastic state. If we further reduce the water content, what will happen? The soil is converting into semi-solid state. The soil is converting into semi-solid state. So that's why it is the boundary condition. It is the boundary water content. Next, it is also defined as the minimum water content at which the soil will just begin to crumble when rolled into a thread of approximately 3 mm in diameter. Then soil So Atterberg's limits, plastic limit. Plastic limit is the water content corresponding to an arbitrary limit between the plastic and the semi-solid states of consistency of soil. What is plastic limit? It is the water content. It is the minimum water content at which the soil is still in plastic state. Further, if you reduce the water content, what will happen? This soil may goes into the semi-solid state. So the boundary between the semi-solid state and plastic state is called as the plastic limit. So next, plastic limit is also defined as the minimum water content at which the soil will just begin to crumble. Soil is just begin to crumble when rolled into a thread of approximately 3 mm in diameter. Approximately 3 mm in diameter. So that means, what does it mean? The soil sample having some water content. With the water content, if you crumble when rolled into a thread of 3 mm diameter without crumbling, if the soil can roll into a thread of 3 mm diameter without crumbling, then that whatever the water content is there at that time, that soil is having plastic limit. Water content is called as plastic limit. That is the thing. Next, significance of plastic limit. Significance of plastic limit. So the toughness of the soil sample can be estimated. The toughness of the soil sample can be estimated by the amount of pressure required to roll the soil into threads. The toughness of the soil sample can be estimated by the amount of pressure required to roll the soil into threads. Next, toughness is directly proportional to the plasticity. Toughness is directly proportional to the plasticity. Highly colloidal clay has high toughness. That's why these all the consistency limits or Atterberg's limits are applicable for the clays only, especially. So highly colloidal clay has high toughness. Next, inorganic clay of less plasticity is very weak. Inorganic clay of less plasticity is very weak. Presence of organic matter increases plasticity. Presence of organic matter increases plasticity. Next, definition of plastic limit. So, determination of plastic limit, how to determine. So the aim is to determine the plastic limit of soil sample. Determine the plastic limit of soil sample. Next, apparatus required. What are the apparatus required is glass plate or marble plate for rolling, 200 by 150 mm size. 200 by 150 mm size. Next one is balance. Next one is we required one oven. Next one is a rod of glass 3 mm diameter and about 100 mm long. A rod of glass 3 mm diameter, about 100 mm long. What is the procedure of test? So about 20 grams of soil sample, 20 grams of soil sample passing 425 micron ISU. 20 grams of soil sample passing 425 micron ISU is taken. Even in liquid limit also same passing 425 micron ISU is taken. Here also same thing. Next, the soil is thoroughly mixed. The soil is thoroughly mixed with distilled water. The soil is thoroughly mixed with distilled water such that it can be molded into a ball. Such that it can be molded into a ball. Next point. The plastic soil mass made into a ball. The plastic soil mass made into a ball is rolled on the glass plate into threads of 3 mm dia. Into threads of 3 mm dia. This soil is then kneaded together and rolled. This kneading and rolling is done until the thread crumbles down. That is, it can no longer be rolled into a thread. Until the thread crumbles. Crumbles means it is making into pieces. Soil getting into pieces. Next. The crumbled threads of soil are then taken for water content determination. So at that time, what is the water content there present in the soil, that we need to determine. The water content thus determined gives the plastic limit of soil. Means, what does it mean? At that stage, the soil is ready to crumble, not crumbling actually. It is ready to crumble. That's why that is the plastic limit, because it is a boundary condition between the plastic state and semi-solid state. Like this. This is the glass plate. 200 by 150 mm size. This is the glass rod. Then we need to take the ball. We need to take the soil, which is makes like a ball. You keep that ball on this glass plate, and on that soil mass, then you keep this rod, and with that our hand, we need to roll that soil such that it makes like a thread. Such that we need to make like a thread of 3 mm dia, without crumbling. This is the experiment. Here you can see. Next, plasticity index. The definition is plasticity index is denoted by Pi or IP. IP is the difference between the liquid limit and plastic limit. Is the difference between the liquid limit and plastic limit. We know liquid limit and we determine the plastic limit. So WL minus WP. WL minus WP is nothing but plasticity index IP or PI. So what do we know from this plasticity index? Plasticity index is the range of water content over which the soil remains in the plastic, plastic state or plastic. So plasticity index is equal to liquid limit minus plastic limit. So here it is liquid limit is there, here it is plastic limit is there. So what is the range of plasticity index? Plasticity index is nothing but the soil is always in the plastic state from here to here, WL minus WP. The range is liquid limit to plastic limit or plastic limit to liquid limit. So what does it indicate? It indicates the plastic state. The soil is in plastic state. The soil is in plastic state. See here from the diagram we can show that this is the plastic limit, this is the liquid limit. So IP is equal to WL minus WP, liquid limit minus plastic limit. This minus this. So from the liquid state to semi-solid state, boundary between the liquid limit and plastic limit means it is in the plastic state. Fine. Significance of plasticity index. It is a measure of the plastic range. From year to year. It is in the plastic state. That is why we are measuring the range. Next, second one. A high plasticity index with a high liquid limit signifies. A soil which undergoes a change. In its volume with water content. That is, it is capable of swelling and shrinking. Again, I am repeating the statement. A high plasticity index with a high liquid limit signifies a soil which undergoes a change in its volume with water content. That is, it is capable of swelling and shrinking. Next, third point. Organic soils have less plasticity index. Soils have less plasticity index. Let us take one numerical problem, simple problem to determine the plasticity index. A clay soil sample has a liquid limit of 43% and a plastic limit of 20%. Determine the plasticity index. Simple. What is the plasticity index formula? It is the difference between the liquid limit and plastic limit. So WL minus WP. WL minus WP means 43 minus 20. So that is 23%. IP is equal to 23% or 0.23. Next important one is shrinkage limit. So what is shrinkage limit? It is also the moisture content. All the consistency limits or Atterberg's limits are nothing but the water contents only. So shrinkage limit also is the water content at which a soil sample ceases to lose its volume but continues to lose weight. It is continuously. Further, if you reduce the moisture content beyond the shrinkage limit, what will happen? The weight will be reduced. Continues to lose weight. It loses its weight, but the volume is same. The volume will not further reduces. It ceases to lose its volume, but continues to lose weight. So at shrinkage limit, the soil volume ceases, stops. So it will further if you reduce the water content, the volume will not reduce, but the weight will reduce. That is important point. Next, shrinkage limit is the maximum water content. Shrinkage limit is the maximum water content expressed as percentage of over dry weight of soil, at which any further reduction in water content will not cause a decrease in the volume of soil mass. That's what. The volume of the soil mass reaches constant. Further, at which any further reduction in the water content, will not cause a decrease in the volume of soil mass. Next, Some soils when subjected to alternative wetting and drying are likely to undergo large changes in the volume. Alternative wetting and drying. Then suppose like what do we say, that black cotton soils. Black cotton soils alternates wetting and drying means alternate, that is water content changes. That's why large volume changes takes place. Such type of soils. Which type of soils? Black cotton soil, right? It is necessary to assess the possible change in the moisture content before volume change takes place appreciably. Next point. Shrinkage limit indicates the extent of the change in the volume. The extent of the change, and hence it is effect on the stability of the structure. So the shrinkage limit, how much change in the volume takes place, that is indicates the extent of change in the volume, and hence its effect on the stability of the structure. Next, determination of shrinkage limit. Aim to determine the shrinkage limit and the shrinkage ratio of the soil. Apparatus required: IS 425 micron sieve, evaporating dish, and shrinkage dish of stainless steel. So these are the apparatus required. So let us see the procedure. To determine the shrinkage limit. First point. About 100 grams of woven dried soil sample sieved through as IS 425 micron sieve is taken. Similar to liquid limit test and plastic limit test. We need to take the soil sample which is passing through IS 425 micron sieve. How much? Approximately 100 grams. 100 grams of the soil sample we need to take. Next, about 30 grams of sieved soil. Is taken in an evaporating dish, and made into a paste. Using distilled water. We need to take 30 grams of the sieved soil and evaporating dish and add the water to add distilled water to that, and make it like a paste. The water used for making the paste should be near the liquid limit. How much water we should add? Approximately liquid limit. Whatever the liquid limit of the soil is there, that much amount of water we should add to the soil. For plastic soils, the water content may be 10% more than the liquid limit. For plastic soils, the water content may be 10% more than the liquid limit. Next, the weight of the shrinkage dish is determined and recorded to the nearest 0.1 grams. Next, what to do? The volume of the shrinkage dish, which is the volume of the wet soil mass, is determined by filling the shrinkage dish with mercury up to the top of the shrinkage dish. The volume of the shrinkage dish, which is nothing but the volume of the wet soil mass, because wet soil mass we are taking into that shrinkage dish. That's why what to do is we need to determine the volume of the shrinkage dish. How? By filling the shrinkage dish with the mercury up to the top of the shrinkage dish, so that we will get the volume of the shrinkage dish. A glass plate may be used to remove excess mercury by pressing it against the top of the dish. Next, the volume V of the wet soil is determined. Dividing the weight of the mercury by unit weight of the mercury. How? So what we are doing is, listen here, the shrinkage dish, in that shrinkage dish volume we are trying to find out. After that, what we are doing, we are taking the soil sample, the wet soil sample, we are taking it into the shrinkage dish. So whatever the volume of the dish, that is nothing but the volume of the soil, because with the soil sample we are taking in the dish. That's why the volume of the soil sample is nothing but the volume of the dish. So volume of the dish, how do we find out? By pouring the mercury into that. We are going to determine the volume of the dish. How? The volume of the dish is nothing but determined by dividing the weight of the mercury. How much weight of the mercury we are taking into the dish, that divided by unit weight of mercury. Because unit weight of mercury, what is the formula for unit weight of mercury? Weight by volume. So weight divided by unit weight is nothing but we are getting the volume. Unit weight formula is weight by volume. This much amount of mercury we are taking into the dish. That's why the weight by divided by gamma d. Gamma d is nothing but the unit weight of the mercury. So what we will get? We will get the volume of the mercury. Volume of the mercury. Volume of the mercury is nothing but volume of the dish. Volume of the dish is nothing but volume of the soil. Volume of the soil. Like that, we are going to determine the volume of the soil. Next, the shrinkage dish is filled. The shrinkage dish is filled with wet soil in 3 layers. Each layer is slightly tapped before lying in the next. The excessive soil is struck off using a straight edge, and the faces of dish are cleaned. The weight of the wet soil mass is recorded. The weight of the wet soil mass is recorded. Volume of the soil mass we know. Volume of the soil mass we know. So next, the wet soil in the shrinkage dish is air dried. The wet soil of the shrinkage dish is air dried till color is observed and subsequently over dried at 105 to 110 degrees centigrade. 105 to 110 degrees centigrade. 105 to 110 degrees centigrade. Full stop. The weight of the dry soil mass is found. See here what are the recordings. First you note down. First volume of the dish we are finding out. How? By pouring the mercury into the dish and measuring the volume of the mercury. Volume of the mercury is nothing but volume of the dish. Volume of the dish is nothing but volume of the soil. Like that we are determining the volume of the soil. First step. Second step, what we are doing is we are taking the soil mass, the wet soil into the dish, and the weight of wet soil mass is recorded. Weight of wet soil mass is recorded. Volume of the soil, the volume of the wet soil mass is recorded, and weight of the wet soil mass is also recorded. Next, the wet soil in the shrinkage dish is air dried till color change is observed. And later, what we have to do is we need to put that in the oven at 105 to 110 degrees centigrade, so that the weight of the dry soil mass is found. Weight of the dry soil mass is found. Next, the volume of the dry soil. The volume of the dry soil also we need to find out, because when the soil sample is dried now, so volume is also changing. So the volume of the dry soil, by immersing, how do we determine that? By immersing it in the glass cup. By immersing it in the glass cup filled with mercury is determined. By immersing the glass cup filled with mercury. How? Whenever we are immersing the soil mass, dry soil mass into the mercury, then what will happen? Whenever we try to immerse that, what will happen? Some of the mercury is overflow. That's why here you see a glass cup is filled with mercury up to the top. A glass cup is filled with mercury up to the top. So that what will happen? The excess of mercury is removed. The excess of mercury is removed by pressing a glass plate against the top of the cup. The soil mass is forced into the cup, and the displaced mercury is carefully collected. Whenever we are keeping our dry soil mass immersed into the mercury, what will happen? That is already completely filled up to the top, that mercury container. So the overflow takes place. You see here, the excess of mercury is removed by pressing. That is okay. A soil mass is forced into the cup, and the displaced mercury by the soil mass is carefully collected in an evaporating dish without spilling it. The volume of the dry soil mass V0 is equal to the volume of the mercury displaced. That is Archimedes principle again. Whenever there is a full water or mercury or any liquid is there, if any object is immersed into the liquid, the liquid what to do? That much volume of the liquid, will be displaced, the equal volume of the object. The displaced volume of the liquid is equal to the volume of the object immersed. This is Archimedes principle. So again we are getting the volume of the dry soil mass. How do we get? That is equal to the volume of the mercury displaced, which is determined by how do we determine? By dividing its weight. Measure the weight of the collected overflown mercury divided by unit weight of mercury. Same principle again. Divided by unit weight of mercury. Weight collected mercury weight divided by unit weight of mercury. From that we will get the volume of the mercury. Volume of the mercury is nothing but the dry soil volume. So that we are getting the dry soil volume here. Next, The oven dried weight W naught or WD of the sample by oven drying the specimen and cooling it in a dissipator is found. Before going to keep it in the immersing into the mercury, you need to record the oven dried soil sample weight also. Oven dried soil sample weight also. Fine. These are the recordings. What are the recordings? First, we need to take the wet soil sample, and record the weight also, record the weight, and then that wet soil sample, you keep it in the, take it in the dish, evaporating dish. The dish volume can be determined indirectly by pouring the mercury into the dish. So the volume of the dish is nothing. Volume of the mercury poured into the dish is equal to weight of the mercury poured into the dish divided by the unit weight of the mercury. From that we are getting the volume of the mercury poured into the dish. That is equal to volume of the dish. That is equal to volume of the wet soil. Like that we are getting the volume of the wet soil and weight of the wet soil. After that what we are doing is we are trying to make it dry by keeping it in the oven at 105 to 110 degrees centigrade for 24 hours. Then what will happen, that soil sample will become dry in an oven, in a dish. Then what to do is collect that oven dried soil sample and measure the weight of that, and then that we need to find out the volume of that dried soil sample. How? Just by, again, the dry soil sample is poured into the immersed into the mercury, which is filled up to top. Then what will happen? Already it is filled up to top. When we try to immerse this our oven dried soil sample, some mercury will be overflows. So the overflown mercury is collected in another container. Then measure the weight of that overflown mercury divided by unit weight is nothing but the displaced volume of the mercury. The displaced volume of the mercury is equal to the volume of the dry soil, because that volume is displaced by the volume of the by dry soil. That's why both are equal. The volume collected in the volume of the mercury which is collected as it overflows, that should be equal to the volume of the dry soil. That is as per Archimedes principle. So now we got the volume of the dry soil, weight of the dry soil, volume of the wet soil, weight of the wet soil. These are the 4 recordings. Now next, determination of shrinkage limit. Determination of shrinkage. Now you see here, this is the stage 1. Stage 1, what is this? Total volume, how much? V1. The soil mass, how much? Ms. And what is this water weight is Mw, let us say Mw. So total mass, how much? Total mass is M1. Total mass is M1, and total volume is V1. The soil solids mass is Ms. The soil solids mass is Ms. Next, what to do is, here we are trying to allowing dry. This is what is this step is. Second step is, now I will explain. Like this is the wet soil in the shrinkage dish is air dried till the color change is observed. Here some volume of the water, some of the water will be evaporated. And subsequently oven dried at 105 to 110 degrees centigrade. Immediately we are not keeping that wet soil sample which is in the dish is not going to keep it in the oven. First we are trying to wet soil in the shrinkage dish is air dried till the color change. So here something first we are trying to reduce the volume. Then that again we are keeping it in the temperature at 105 to 110 degrees centigrade, so that we will get the dry soil mass. So the drying process is done in 2 stages. First one naturally, second one by increasing the temperature. First one is naturally drying. We are trying to dry the sample, and then again put it in the oven at 105 to 110 degrees centigrade, and so that it will be dried. So the drying process is done in 2 stages. So that's why here you see here, first one, this is the wet soil sample having volume V1, mass M1, having volume V1 and mass M1. The mass of solids is Ms. The mass of soil solids is Ms. Fine. Next, this is the natural drying process. Natural drying process, what will happen? Some water will be evaporated. Now the volume of the soil sample is, let us say, V2. The volume of the soil sample is V2. Now how much volume is reduced? V1 minus V2. Because earlier the volume is V1. Now the volume of the soil sample is V1 only V2. How much reduction takes place? V1 minus V2 is reduced. The volume of the soil reduced is V1 minus V2. Now this is the soil sample. Now what is the soil sample volume? V2. Soil sample volume is, because this much is evaporated. excess water. This is actually excess water. Fine. Next, what to do? Keep this soil sample in the oven, and then what will happen? The voids present, the water present in the voids, gets evaporated. So that what will happen? The voids filled with air will get. So this is the oven dried soil sample. So now what is the volume? Earlier, before keeping it into the oven, the volume of the soil is V2. Even here also, volume of the soil is V2 only. V3, V2 both are stay same. At the stage 3, the volume will not change. The volume is not changing. Volume is same as stage 2, V2. Here there is no reduction in volume. Here also V2, here also V2 soil sample. What is the difference between the stage 2 and stage 3? In stage 2, all these air voids are occupied with water, that is fully saturated. Whereas here, all these voids are occupied with air. That is nothing but the dry soil. All the voids are occupied with air is nothing but the dry soil. So this is the stage 3 is the dry soil. So now here V3 is equal to V2. Now here mass of the soil is same in all the stages. Mass of that will not change. Now here M3 is equal to MS. M3 is equal to, now what is the soil sample weight? MS. Here what is the soil sample weight? Here M2, because water is there, soil is there. Here what is the soil sample weight is M0. Right. So this is the before shrinkage wet soil is like this shrinkage dish. Here this is the glass plate, glass cup. This is the method of finding volume of dry soil pad. The mercury displaced by soil parts. Evaporating dish. This is the evaporating dish. After shrinkage, this is the soil sample. Now, determination of shrinkage limit. Computation. Shrinkage limit WS is equal to M1 minus MS minus V1 minus V2 into gamma W. V1 minus V2 into gamma W by MS. This is the formula. The shrinkage limit formula is WS is equal to M1 minus MS minus V1 minus V2 into gamma W by MS. So what is this M1? Mass of the wet soil in grams. What is MS? Mass of the dry soil after shrinkage. MS mass of the soil after shrinkage or before shrinkage, MS will not change. Next, V1. What is the V1? Volume of the wet soil. V1 is the volume of the wet soil in ml. V2 is the volume of the dry soil after shrinkage. in ml. Gamma W is the specific weight of water. Now, shrinkage limit, SL, let us understand now. So here, this is the volume of the soil, we can take it on y-axis, and water content or moisture content in percentage, let us take it on x-axis. So here, this is the liquid limit. At this time, what is the volume? This much volume is there. Suppose at this stage here, how much volume is there? V1. This much volume is there. V1. So at plastic state, what will happen? As the water content is decreasing, the volume is also decreasing like this. Because at here, the corresponding water content is here. As the water content is decreasing, suppose let us say at a plastic limit, what is the volume, corresponding volume is? This is the volume, only this. So the volume is decreased. Further, if you decrease the moisture content from plastic limit to shrinkage limit, what will happen? You see, from the shrinkage limit to what will happen? Shrinkage limit, this is only the value. You see, initial volume is here, final volume is here. So what does it indicates? The value, as the water content decreases, the volume of the soil decreases. As the volume of soil is decreases. But still, whenever the shrinkage limit, the water content reaches its shrinkage limit, the final volume occurs. Further, even though you put it in the oven or whatever it is, further it will not reduce. Even if you reduce the further the moisture content, the volume of the soil will not change. Only the thing what will happen is the water occupied in voids, that will be moving out, but that at the place of water the air will be there. So the volume will not be changed, maybe the weight will be changed. Obviously at the place of water, if you take air, what we air negligible weight, whereas water considerable weight is there. That's why weight will be changing, but volume will not change. Once it reaches the shrinkage limit, the volume of the soil sample gets seized. The volume of the soil sample gets seized, means stop. Further, it will not reduce the volume. Even if you reduce the water content further, the volume of the soil sample will not get reduced beyond the shrinkage limit. So now let us solve a numerical problem. In an experiment, for the determination of shrinkage limit, following observations were taken. Volume of saturated soil V1 9.75 ml. Next, mass of saturated soil M1 16.5 grams. Volume of dry soil after shrinkage V2 5.4 ml. Mass of dry soil after shrinkage MS 10.9 grams. Compute the shrinkage limit of soil. So V1 9.75, V2 5.4, M1 is 16.5, MS is 10.9. So required formula WS is equal, shrinkage limit is equal to M1 minus MS minus V1 minus V2 into gamma W by MS. M1 is how much? 16.5 minus MS 10.9 minus up to these values, minus 9.75 minus 5.4, and the gamma W is 1 gram per cc. 1 gram per cc. That's why 1 divided by MS is 10.9. So how much we are getting? 0.1147. That is nothing but shrinkage limit is 11.47. Shrinkage limit is 11.47%. Specific gravity from shrinkage limit test. So from the shrinkage limit test, we can also determine the specific gravity of soil particles. May be determined from shrinkage limit. So G is equal to MS by V1 into gamma W minus M1 minus MS. G is equal to MS by V1 into gamma W minus M1 minus MS. Fine. So shrinkage limit, another experiment, another problem, let us say. In an experiment for the determination of shrinkage limit, following observations are taken. Volume of saturated soil V1 and M1, volume of the dry soil after shrinkage V2, mass of the soil after shrinkage MS. Compute the specific gravity of solids now. So specific gravity of solids formula just now we got G is equal to MS by V1 gamma W minus M1 minus MS. MS is how much? 10.9 by V1. V1 is 9.75. Gamma W is 1 minus M1 minus MS 16.5 minus 10. We will get 2.60. The specific gravity of the soil is 2.60. So this is all about today's class. So what we have discussed today is the Atterberg's limits. We are continuing the Atterberg's limits. Yesterday, last class, we have discussed about the liquid limits and how to determine the liquid limit. What is the importance of the liquid limit? We have discussed. Today's class is the remaining limits. The other limits are the other Atterberg limits are plastic limit and shrinkage limit. So what is the plastic limit definition, and what is the significance of plastic limit, and how to determine the plastic limit? Next one, similarly, shrinkage limit. What is the importance of shrinkage limit, and how to determine the shrinkage limit experimentally. Then also we also discussed the plasticity index. What does it mean? It is the difference of liquid limit and plastic limit. The soil, whichever soil is having more plasticity index, that is more plastic. That's what it is. Plasticity index is nothing but it is the range of plastic. It gives the range of plastic. That's why if the plasticity index is more, means the plastic nature is more. That is more plastic. That's why the plasticity index, we can, from the plasticity index we can understand that. So these are the things we have discussed. Next one is shrinkage limit. From the shrinkage limit test, we can determine the shrinkage limit WS, and also we can determine the specific gravity of soil. Also we can estimate from the shrinkage limit, test. How? This is the formula. Shrinkage limit, from the shrinkage limit test, we can also determine the specific gravity of soil particles. G is equal to MS by V1 gamma W minus M1 minus MS. So from this we can determine the specific gravity answer. Specific gravity answer. Let us stop here.